Recently, getting to sit down and ask myself questions and why I would react a certain way to a certain situation or to something that somebody has said, I realized that it was not just from secondary school that I started to get bullied. It was way before that, like from 3 years, 4 years.
Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Unpack with Nay, a show where we have wholesome and authentic conversations. My name is Angel Anosike and I'm your host. In today's episode, we have Alex Unusual. She is a filmmaker, storyteller, and all-round creative, and we're about to unpack authenticity, journey to self, and cyberbullying. I hope you enjoy watching this episode. As usual, if you do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up, comment, and share. So let's unpack. Okay, I just want to start this conversation by saying you look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Stunning. The colors are working, the hair's working, the earrings are working.
Thank you. I just forgot that I didn't have jewelry on.
Oh, no, you're okay. You're fine. You're fine. So how are you feeling today? What's your mood? What's your energy level like?
The truth or the lie?
How did you wake up? The truth, honest
or the
truth, yeah.
I woke up really late because I was up for long. I was working. And just before we started recording, I've been working. So I think I'm a bit stressed. But I'm learning to be calm in chaos.
Okay, so let's start with a little gratitude.
Okay.
As always. So tell me, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for strong will today. I think that's family and strong will.
I love that. Do you want to expatiate on the strong will bit?
Strong will because the thing that is stressing me, I've been able to understand that it's not perfection, it's just getting it right. Those are two different things. So right now I'm at the point where something is really stressing me and everyone's like, oh, let it go. It's not perfection, that's probably, it just doesn't look right. A lot of people are seeing it doesn't look right, but because they already know me to be someone that is always trying to get things right, it's like, oh, just let it go. So I know that it's strong will right now, trying to just get it right and not trying to be perfect. And then I'm grateful for family because my siblings have been checking on me since morning, like, how's your mental health? Do you feel okay? Do you feel good? My brother has given me a lot of hugs today.
Aww.
So yeah, great. I'm grateful for family.
I like that you like hugs.
Yes, I do.
What's your, comfort? How do I explain it? What's the one thing that makes you feel really good? Hugs?
Hugs, yeah.
Did you hug me today?
So we were both mad when we saw each other.
No matter, we both
side eye. Gave ourselves the side eye, and that's it was still a love side eye.
I'll give you a big hug after we're done filming.
That's fine.
Okay, so we're just gonna start. The first thing, I don't think I've ever heard, I don't know if I've heard this, I don't know if you've spoken about it. I'm sure you have, to be honest, but where did unusual come from? Have you spoken about it before?
Yeah, kind of, so in school, in uni, I was studying agriculture, which was something that I enjoyed.
I love that.
I wanted to be in mass communication and theater arts, so I would always dress like people in that department. My department was a bit serious, you can't have colored hair and all, but I was dressing like people in the arts and stuff. So my lecturer, one particular man, would always say, there were two Alex in my class, so he would always say, oh, Alex, you came with colored hair today, stand up and leave my class. But I didn't feel like I had to change my hair just because my lecturer did not like the hair, because he had punk and I didn't like punk, and I never told him to change.
Yes, why would he tell you?
So I didn't get why. So whenever he just says leave my class, I would never beg. I just stand up and leave. So he was like, when he says Alex, people are looking at, oh, the unusual one. So I just took it like Alex Unusual, and he stuck.
I like that. So you just ran with it?
Yeah, I did.
I really, really, really like that. But when you're in school and obviously studying agriculture and still having a love for the arts, which is what you're doing now, thankfully.
Yeah.
How did that feel for you as a person?
So I'm not sure I have the perfect explanation for depression, but I know that I didn't feel like waking up every morning to the same thing. It was more like when I wake up, I'm like, God, why?
Just university?
Yes. I didn't want to go to school. Yeah, there's a part of me that wanted to make my parents proud, come out with a degree, but I wasn't enjoying it at all. I was always just sad, It just felt like, and I was ready to come out with attempted university. There is first class, then there is 2-1, then there's pass.
Yeah.
Then there's the lower one. So I attempted. I already gave myself like 2 extra years, in my head. And that was like in my second year. I was really sure that for like the next 4 or 5 years, I might still be here doing this. So there was really no fulfillment in what I was doing. I was always just sad.
I remember that. What did little Alex want as a child? Because obviously, if you were studying agriculture and you knew that you wanted to be in theatre, like what exactly did you think of, like growing up, that you wanted to be?
I wanted to tell stories in ways people were not willing to tell them for fear or whatever, or societal standards or what society thinks or how they think you should tell a story. I just wanted to tell different stories. I wanted to tell the hidden stories. I wanted to tell the stories of the soul, the ones that people were not willing to talk about. Yeah. So.
And how did that, it sounds so formal, like obviously you're expressing yourself with your hair, and like all these things. What else were you, like, how were you expressing your creativity? Because obviously you were studying agriculture and you couldn't really do much.
There was modeling, for a few people. I would dance every now and then, but the best way that I expressed myself in school was really just being myself and accepting that some people saw me as weird and it was fine.
Did you get bullied?
Well, not in uni, but in secondary school. And recently I realized, not just in secondary school, even before secondary school, somehow, how people talk about, childhood trauma. I would always relate childhood trauma with immediate family and just like, I didn't have any childhood trauma. My parents, my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister, they were nice. But now, recently, getting to sit down and ask myself questions and why I would react a certain way to a certain situation or to something that somebody has said, I realized that it was not just from secondary school that I started to get bullied. It was way before that, like from 3 years, 4 years,
What's a distinct, if you mind sharing, what's a distinct memory that you have of, like, being bullied?
So till today, I haven't watched Lion King.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't want to watch it because when I think of it, it makes me angry. Wait.
Sorry.
Okay. So we had this auntie of ours that, she probably felt like she was training us, right? But she was just really mean. I don't know. Like we were watching TV, you felt like, you guys just came back from Lagos. You feel like you can come we came for Christmas. You feel like you can come to the village and just sit down, not doing anything. Come and pick egusi. I'm like, my mom never asked us to pick egusi. There were just some kind of jobs that she would send us to do. So that particular day, my grandma has like pigs, and then we take care of them. So that particular morning, we woke up early. First of all, they did this morning prayer in Igbo. And they always flog me, my siblings, for not knowing how to say Hail Mary in Igbo. So that morning, before they finished flogging us, then they said we should go to the farm. Because they needed us to, I don't know, it just felt like it was home training. But really, it wasn't to me. We went to the farm, had to pick a lot of grass and all of that. I just didn't understand what I was doing there. A lot of mosquitoes and sunfly finished biting my sister and I. We came back home. They said we should come and pick this palm front. I don't know how the fruits from, I don't know.
Palm kernel?
Yeah, palm kernel. Then we're done picking that, and the next thing she brings egusi. And have you tried picking egusi before?
No.
It's a lot. It looks like an unending journey. It was just a big bowl. So I was looking at it like, when am I going to finish this thing? I said, okay, no problem. You know what? I could be picking it and be watching Lion King. Then we sat down, my siblings and I were trying to watch the Lion King, and she just came and started shouting that we should go outside and watch it. So we left the living room. We're sitting in the corridor outside, then they opened the window a little bit, and that was where we could watch the Lion King from. So when I think about it now, it's just really, I don't know, it just makes me sad. But I still know that I don't want to watch.
You didn't finish watching it?
No, we didn't really even go far into it, but I don't feel like watching it. It just, every time I try to watch it or I just think of how I looked at my siblings that day and they just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to call my mom. And my mom would not understand what was going on,
Yeah.
And they would just feel like she's being overly protective of her kids when she says, you guys, I don't like the way you're treating my children. Which is why I said, I think the bullying thing started from
Were you
way
aware
before.
at the time that you
No,
were being
I wasn't.
bullied? Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I just concluded that I was rebellious and I was very stubborn. So I just felt like, well, it's probably punishment for something that I'm doing that I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm just a stubborn girl. No one tried to put in your head that you're stubborn, but I don't think it's stubbornness. I was just unaware. First of all, why would you, after all that work, tell me to sit down and start to pick egusi? Plus, the day before that, they had flogged me for giving the pigs clean water instead of dirty water. How in the name of the Lord am I supposed to know that I'm supposed to get dirty water and go and give something that's living? Like, I literally washed all their buckets and gave them clean water. Then these pigs refused to drink water all day. They didn't drink water all day. And next thing they came back and said, I'm trying to kill the pigs. And they flogged me.
That's so mean.
And they're like, oh, it's very intentional. She knows what she's doing. I think after that, we were able to use like my auntie's phone to call my mom. And we're like, Mom, we want to go. And we left. But it's just a whole lot of things. Even recently, I just realized that for the most part of my life, I unknowingly try to dim my light for other people to shine. And even at that, they still won't like you. Even with the little light that I allow out, it's still shining very bright. So I could have tried to encourage other people to, try to brighten their lights if you just felt like you couldn't do it by yourself and you needed somebody to encourage you. But I didn't need to dim mine. And thinking about it and why I would always feel that way is because when I was younger and we go for like a party and it's time to dance, you don't need to ask. You already know that Alex is going to be there. When I want, my auntie's like, sit down. You see, everywhere you go, you want to show yourself. So somehow, when I go to places and they're like, who wants to do this? I just
recoil.
Recoil, and I mustn't do everything. You mustn't be the one shining all the time. You mustn't.
So it's very interesting, right? Now you're in the lights. You're in the lights. And before the light happened, how the light happened. Before the light happened, were there any fears you had about like stepping in, and obviously on the platform that you did on such a scale? So stepping in on that platform, before then it was like I was drowning really, and I just had my hands out and I needed something to drag me out of that water. I had deferred my admission. I was just waking up and going to bed in the hostel. I had used my school fees to give to one man to buy me clothes so that I could sell in school, just because I couldn't go back home and tell my dad that I've used I wanted to raise my school fees and also be able to have pocket money. Because the thing is, I never really lacked anything growing up. Or my dad, I didn't lack anything. So I couldn't start calling him, Daddy, you send me money today, send me money tomorrow. I've given my school fees, my pocket money, everything to one man. I can't say that. I can't even tell him I didn't pay my school fees. So at the time... Why did you pay your school fees?
Because I used it to buy clothes so that I could sell to make more money. So at the time, the man started to call, if I wanted to get my money back, I should come and see him. So I was like, okay, you know what? I already know my money is gone. So I wasn't doing anything every day. I think the last time I went to school, I got to class and I saw everybody inside the bush and they were picking insects. And I asked why. And they said we should pick 10 different insects. I'm like, it makes no sense.
Because you're studying agriculture.
Why am I inside the bush? You make me plant cucumber. After planting the cucumber, I have to come and water it every evening. Then you people sell it and make the money and give me 10 marks. Then I go into the bush and pick insects and give you the insects and you give me 10 marks. It was just a lot of silly things. Then I didn't submit the insects and they said, I was going to self-punishment. Took me to one place, said I should pick either taking care of the chicken or cutting grass. I was like, I'd rather cut grass. Then the man stands in front of the grass and he just says, where is that student? Start from here and move down. The wall, I could almost not see the wall. And he just said, start from here and move down. I just told him, I quit. Don't worry. Let me...
I have a similar...
I quit school. At this point, I'm a dropout and it's fine. I started the process to defer my admission. That was another, go to this department, go to that department, go here. I'm like, chill guys, I'm not even trying to transfer to another school for agric, so it's fine. Let me know, I don't even need. So right now, I didn't even defer completely. I just left and I was doing nothing. So when my cousin came to meet me and she was like, there's this show, I think you should go on. I said, I don't want to go again. All the modeling job I tried to do, if I go, they said they're going to pay me 10K. I'm like, I'd rather stay home broke than you're paying me rubbish. So she said, I should go for this show. I asked her what the show was about. She said I just had to sit down and, for 3 months, no debit alerts, I don't have to pay anything, and I could win money. I'm like, they feed me? She said, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, that's
Really?
it. Really, I'm not doing anything. Let's go. What's the name? She said, Big Brother. Then when my auntie had said something about something like that, I was like, you know what? Let's go for the show. I'll just stay there, make money. I can win. Even if I don't win, for the next 3 months, I don't have to feed. That's fine. And that was how it went. So I didn't even I wasn't thinking about anything at the time. I just wanted, if they had told me that,
out.
yeah, I just wanted a way out. Anything at that point to just distract me from what was going on, I would have taken it.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously you were just waking up, not doing anything. Well, how do you think your mind was at the time before going in?
I was numb, I think. I was just numb. I remember when I was auditioning for the show and they asked me, what do you do for a living? And I just looked at the guy straight and I said, nothing. And he's like, you think we came here to play? I'm like, would you rather I lie to you? Yeah. Do you want me to lie?
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. So, I was just waking up every day. I can't say I was waiting for death, but I was just waiting for whatever happens.
Yeah.
At that point, it was like, wherever life leads me, let's just go.
Yeah. What's the difference between the Alex before the lights? Let's just call it the light. I really love that because I really believe that you're light.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between Alex before the light and Alex now?
I would say my mindset, really. I think that's just the difference. In a lot of ways, I'm still the same girl. I'm still the same girl that would do things for passion, and if I'm not enjoying it, it's very obvious. I'm still the same girl that tries to make everybody laugh and everybody smile. I'm still the same girl that would show exactly how I feel at any point that I feel. But I know that I've grown in terms of how I think, how I accept a lot of things that happen in my life. People leaving, people coming into my life, people saying bad things to me. I think I've grown in the way I handle a lot of things. So that's basically, I think growth.
Yeah. So just you saying now that you've come to, accept, people throwing things at you and the things that have happened. I know, the camera knows how intense, I know obviously, how intense the last couple of months have been for you. And I know that how that call at 2 a.m. losing your shit, how it was and how you were at the time and how you are now. What's the difference and how has it been like just coming into yourself? Because there are lots of changes that we're about to be seeing, So tell me about that journey to self, finding yourself. See how she's smiling. see how she's smiling. She's so happy. And I'm so thrilled to see you happy, obviously. So walk me through how being in a really dark phase, and coming out to become light again, how the process has been.
So it was before the lights, right? It was 3 phases. Choose money, choose passion, or find a way to merge the both. And that's where I was having a problem. So before, I would just choose where the money is. And at some point, I started to go with only the passion, but I wasn't making money from the passion. So that night that I called you, I think that was the day that it dawned on me that I had to find a way to merge both of them. And I couldn't, I just wasn't thinking.
Tell me, what were you thinking about that night?
It was a lot of things. First of all, I felt like I didn't have control over myself because I would wake up in the morning and I'll pick up my phone. I picked it up from one of my exes, waking up in the morning and checking your phone just so you know whose birthday it is, so you don't miss anybody's birthday, so you can wish them happy birthday. That was the excuse that I started to give myself. When I wake up every morning and pick up my phone, and then I start to scroll aimlessly on the internet. I could scroll till
That's so interesting. Is it someone's birthday every day?
Well, in this place where I am, it's almost somebody's birthday every other day. But I could scroll till like 3. Then before I start to put myself together, maybe like 4, 5, and then the day is gone. I'll do it tomorrow.
That's interesting.
So I was always procrastinating. I spoke to you about procrastination, and then you were just like, and it was really interesting watching you wake up in the morning. You're able to it was like my body wasn't listening to my mind at some point. Yes, I want to drop my phone, but I would say my hands were still holding it. My mind knows that I want to drop this phone, but I would still be scrolling aimlessly. I wasn't inspired by anything. And what's funny is, on my Instagram stories, I would usually write about procrastination, and I would write, drop that phone. If any day that I write, drop that phone,
make your bed,
I would do it. So if I'm saying drop your phone, after saying I'm going to drop my phone, I'm not going to stop my phone again till 1 o'clock. Those days I do it. Somehow I just feel like I've said it. I have to do it, right? I have to hold myself accountable. But I've realized that a lot of people need accountability partners for a lot of things. So at that time I was really, really struggling. I didn't even let my accountability partners help me because I was too ashamed to let them know that after they finished speaking to me about something yesterday and I said, oh, I would change, I still did it today. Do you get? At some point, it's like, okay, they're going to get tired of. Imagine me calling you every morning to say, I'm still on my phone, and you've gone to the gym, you've come back. Tomorrow, I'm still on my phone, you've gone to the gym. At some point, really, you're a human being. You would just, not like you stop being friends with me or anything, but you start talking about that part. It's like, just leave Alex. Don't worry. She won't. Like today, now when you're saying, I might come late. Initially, maybe by now, I've not gotten here.
Thank God, though.
But today, I was like, okay, she's spoken about this in a million times. And then she's somebody that is punctual when you tell her to do stuff. So why exactly am I? So I was really struggling with a lot of things that I couldn't even tell people that I was. People would probably think it's one very bad thing that I was doing. No, it was just really like procrastinating. And procrastination actually ruins a lot of things. I don't know, I can't explain how bad it is, but you end up not achieving anything for the longest of time. So at that point, even the passion, I wasn't following. Even the money, I was just procrastinating, giving myself silly reasons why I was doing what I was doing. And then I started to look at a lot of people that were looking up to me. That night when I was crying, I can remember that I used pillow to cover my face because I didn't want my siblings
to hear you cry.
To hear. I was crying in the living room. My brother's room is very close. My sister's room is upstairs. But I didn't want them to hear that I was crying. Because even if you ask me why I'm crying, I can't explain to you that I feel like I'm ruining myself. You know? And at that point, it wasn't really pressure from outside anymore. Because I had learned to just block that one out somehow. It was not pressure from myself. You know? There's negative pressure and there's positive pressure. But I wasn't able to find a landing space with the middle ground with my positive pressure, and that was the problem for me at the time. Plus, I had gotten to a stage where I had said no to money a whole lot. Like, if it doesn't align with what I want to do, I don't want it. You know, I was at a place where a lot of people, for some reason, I had gone on show again, and I had come back, and then a lot of people were reaching out for a lot of things, but I don't know how to explain. It just wasn't working. It wasn't going in the line of my vision. So I'm like, you know what? Hold your money, hold your money, hold your money. So I'm saying no to money. I'm making money from somewhere else, but not the way that I want to make it. And the things that I want to make money from, I wasn't making money from them. So I just understood that no matter how much money you make, if you're not fulfilled, at some point you need to look for that fulfillment. You can have all the money. That's why some people say, oh, you go into marriages and then you see you're not fulfilled in it. That's not what you want. Fulfillment is I don't think we talk about it enough. No matter what you've done. That's why you look at people that are very rich. It looks like they have everything that they need. For some reason, you still see them, they're suicidal. And they're not fulfilled. So I wasn't fulfilled at the time. And I was struggling with it. But now, I just, started doing the things that I love. The way that I love them. I also got to a point where it's like I took a lot of people out of my life.
That's the process.
Yeah, a lot of people actually left. A lot of people that didn't agree with how I was going to do things.
So how do you start weeding it? Because I think that's fundamentally what you have to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like quiet the noise and then start like, okay, this is one thing that's causing a problem in my life. So how did you start weeding that?
I think for the most part of my life, I would allow somebody do anything they want. You can hurt me and I would always forgive. Hurt me and I would forgive. But I would beat myself up so much at the slightest discomfort that I cause you. No matter how much hurt you have. So it was like I was okay with you standing on my feet knowingly, just so I don't mistakenly step on your toes. Do you get? So I started to pick people that make me feel that way. people that in their presence is like they've done something wrong, but I know that if I say this thing now, we're going to fight, we're going to quarrel. Like there were some friends that I wasn't able to speak to. I can't express myself. It's only what you say, and that's fine. I felt like that was me protecting my peace. But in protecting that peace in your presence, I'm not at peace. I just shut up. My head is going through a lot, but I'm not saying anything. I have a lot of things that I want to say to you. So if I can't express to you as a friend because of how you would take it, but you can say anything that you want to say to me, do anything, and I just take it. I just know that, okay, this
Take
one,
it out.
it's time to go. And with some people, the way that we actually part ways, because I tried to have some conversations with some friends, and it didn't end well. The way that we part ways, I just felt like I was more at peace in their absence, And if the peace that I feel without your presence is enough for me, it's okay. I'm okay being the villain in your story. Because some of them will still go with, oh, she's a bad person. They can never really be, they will never be able to explain to people why you guys had issues, and they just paint you however they want to paint you.
Yeah.
But one thing I've realized is that it's fine.
Yeah.
I've told my mom and my siblings, I feel like I'm in my witch era. Not because I'm a witch, but it's okay however you want to see me, really. Do you get?
That threw me off. Like, which era?
Yeah, I kind of
Please.
picked a lot of friends, out, and I could see you screaming and trying to explain to everybody what happened, and I'm just like, well, it's fine.
That's going to be my next question. I was going to say, like, do you feel the need to explain yourself to people? Because when all the controversy and everything has happened in like the last couple of months, like, so many times I'm like, what do you want to do? And you're just like, no, I'm not going to say anything. Like, do you feel, like, how was that?
So now I'm like, I'm going to tell the story in a way that it is interesting to me, not in the way that it suits your ears. So if I'm coming to explain to you, I'm trying to just get you to understand, just so you can feel better, so you can understand where I'm coming from. But no, however I want to tell the story, however I want to explain, I will tell it in a very interesting way. In a way that when I'm watching it, I like what I'm doing. It's like, I came back and I posted a video.
Yeah.
That video was fun to create. Yeah. It was like, I didn't feel anxious. I didn't feel like, oh, what if they understand? What if they didn't understand? I'm like, I'm posting this. If you understand it, fine. If you don't understand it, that's your business. You get.
So, okay, tell me now, this sounds like a very at peace, like sane Alex, right? It's like, I love it. Like, she's in a witch, God, you're not a witch in Jesus' name. I don't think I can use my church mind. I cannot use let's use something else. Please give me another adjective.
There was something that somebody posted. I said I'm going to use that caption one day. She said, born to be a lover, forced to be an Ogbanji. It will probably just keep shocking you, but really that's where I am. I feel like a lot of people actually noticed the change in my behavior. It kind of took me a while to get here, and also when they showed that I went on the show the first time, I went on the show the second time, and it looked like there was a different person each time. So people were like, oh, she was pretending the first time. Oh, she's pretending now. No, I got to that point where I would say what I want to say. However you feel about it, it's fine. And I've also realized that, like, that's when you talk about bullying somehow. I've also realized that people would trigger you, then they frame your response to what they've done.
And to fit into their own
and
narrative.
then they sell that response to people. And when they sell the response, people are not ready or patient enough to go and look for your trigger. All they see is the reaction. And for people that don't react a lot of times, when you react, it looks out of character. Like, she's a good person now. Why would she say this? But we all forget that we all have our witches inside us. We just hold it. I'm serious.
I don't have a witch inside me in Jesus' name, Alex.
Everyone has that part of them that they know that they don't want to show.
For sure, yeah.
Right? We've all had this. Of course, every time I react, I always go back and I'm like, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. But right now, I'm like, I'm a nice person. But if you take advantage of it and I react, you earned it.
Yeah.
You actually earned the reaction. I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm sorry for how you felt somehow, but like, I'm not sorry for what I said. I'm not sorry for what I did. Did you push me to get that reaction? Yes, you did. Did I react? Oh, yes, I'm human. Nobody's ever going to take the fact that you're kind and then take away the humanity in you because of how kind or how nice that you are. I used to be very nice. A lot of people just be like, she's goody two shoes. She's like, no, I'm not. I can also be a witch. I've said it a lot of times. I can also be. I posted something a few days back and people were like, oh, you you shouldn't have called out. I don't know. I was just gisting people who something happened to me. Like, you shouldn't have called out the girl. It's not nice. Now people will go and be trolling the girl. But I'm like, but when the girl did what she did to me, did she think about me? No. Why do I always have to be the one considering everybody?
Yeah, I think obviously
when
'cause you're
nobody
light.
considers me.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm light, but really, you can't go to my light and use darkness and cover everything. And
Very good,
the light needs to burst open that darkness to still shine again, which is fine.
Profound. Love that. Just one word, because I'm really feeling this energy. I'm loving it. Just one word. Where's your camera? That's the camera, right? This one.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Look at the camera and tell those cyber bullies one word. Okay, just a sentence. You can feel free. Express.
I would say you need to help yourself. I can't help you. Really. I can't help how you think of me. I can't help how you see me. You need to help yourself. And if I trigger you, if I cause you problems, if I make you uneasy, if I make you work on yourself, I can't change it.
I love that. I love that. Beautiful. Now I'm going to go into the movement, right? I know that you're very passionate. Even prior to this whole thing, in the past at this point, you've been very passionate about bullying. I want you to just shed some light about that. Where do you think? Obviously, you spoke about being bullied as a child, right? Your auntie, all those things, but there are things that you weren't really aware of at the time that it was bullying. When do you think your first encounter or your first, when did it dawn on you that, oh my God, this is bullying, this is something that I'm passionate about and I want to champion?
I would say from secondary school, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of my old classmates, if they would be truthful, because I've realized that some of them, they're just like, oh, why her and not me? Why she did well and not me? And then they feel they need to tear you down when the whole world is tearing you down. But if they were truthful to themselves, they would know that most of the times I was punished for other people. I was punished because I spoke when everybody chose to be quiet. I was punished because I spoke up for somebody that couldn't speak up for themselves in school. And I realized that I needed to do that when a lot of junior students wanted me to be their school mother.
Oh, Senior Alex.
Yes, so everybody would. And then you don't even call me Senior Alex, you call me Alex. I would always want everybody.
You do senior?
No, I just told them to call me Alex.
Okay.
Yeah, just so they feel more comfortable. If I go back now, I would change that because I realized that it brings insult, but it's fine. Then it was okay, just call me Alex. But I realized I had to do that. And that's because when I got into that school, I had to repeat a class. The school, I had finished SS1, then I got into the school and I had started SS1 again. So people in SS2 were like my classmates, But everybody just felt like they could talk down on me. For some reason, I didn't realize what I had. I didn't realize what made them so angry. My mom would buy me a lot of nightwears from Okirika, not even abroad, but it looked nice. So when I wear it, I always look very unique. All the boys wanted to talk to me, and I was apologizing for the fact that the boys wanted to talk to me. That's something I won't do now. Now I understand that it's okay if everybody wants to talk to me. I mean, it's who I am. If they don't want to talk to you, fine, just work on yourself. But then I was always like, okay, they said my voice was too, and that's why my voice now is really coarse, because I actually walked.
You said that,
I walked to a point where my voice wasn't tiny anymore.
So you're soft-spoken?
Yeah, I was really soft-spoken. I was very feminine. And then when they always do this mass beating thing when they feel like I've offended them. So it's like, oh, why were you talking with that boy outside your class? And I'm trying to explain to them, oh, he's a senior as well. The boy is a senior. So I'm like, he was trying to talk to me about doing this, or he told me to go help him buy. And they're like, do you know whose boyfriend you're talking to? I'm like, senior, I didn't know the boyfriend. The next thing, they called the junior students. Everybody bring your hangers. And it's like, you see a heap of hanger, and they start to beat you. At the same time, they can be like 18 girls, and they're just beating one person. So I don't know what it is, but at that moment, it's always impossible for me to cry.
So all of them are beating you?
So as all of them are beating me, hitting me, you hit me to this person, and hit me to that person, and push me and bang my head. For some reason, I can't find tears. And that's why they always say she's very stubborn. Yeah. But really, I think I would always just be numb. I won't feel they would just keep hitting me from left, right, and center till they're tired. Then they tell me to go and stand for punishment. Then I stand there. I could stand there till like maybe 4 a.m. and we're supposed to wake up at like 6 or 5. So I would end up not sleeping all night. I can just probably like soak my uniform in water, bring it out, flap it, and try to use iron to dry it. I would always end up being the last person to leave the hostel. Then I go to class and everybody is learning and I'm sleeping because I didn't sleep at night. And I started to do badly in school.
Did you ever tell your parents?
So I just didn't want my mom to be hurt, you know. That's what I'm trying to teach children now, and also parents, you know. Try to have those conversations with your kids. If she says, I'm fine, ask in details what happened. If a child is not doing well in school, especially for someone that was doing well before, there has to be a reason for that. Ask them, is it the teacher that you don't like? Is it this student that you don't like? What exactly is going on? My parents didn't even realize that I was depressed because I had to repeat a class. Like, it's like everybody's moving forward and somehow it's not that you moved yourself backward.
Yeah, it's not like you failed
Yeah,
or
you
anything.
didn't fail.
Yeah.
But then you're having to repeat a class. I would understand why they wanted it, because they were like, oh, how can you just be in school? You're first position every time. You know? So you need to go to a school where you need to like study well, federal school. Or you also need to learn Igbo and all these things. So I moved from Lagos to school. And then they were here in Lagos. So they were even far. Imagine me calling my mom on the phone. Do you know how much I have to pay for the call? To now start to explain to her that yesterday, one senior boss, I was talking to a boy. Imagine those kind of, you know, right from when I was even little, I've always hated all those boy conversation. It sounds dirty to me. Mommy, because I was talking to a boy, they now started to beat me. How do I want to explain it? I called my mom only once. Okay, no, twice. But the first time that I called my mom, they had beat me up for stealing. Somehow, it had spread around the whole school that Alex was a thief. And you know, bad news actually spreads really fast. That's why now, when bad news spreads about me, I'm like, I'm used to this thing. People don't like to sell the good news about me because then I'm too good. So they rather have dent and, you know, the dirt on me. And the reason why they were able to label me a thief was something that they caused. They would punish me, like I said, till morning. So I'll be the last person to leave the hostel. So when we come back and something is missing, it's me that they would hold. And again, I'm not a good liar. So a friend of mine, she had offended me and I was like, no worry, I'll deal with you. So I packed all her provisions and went to hide them. She was looking for it. She was crying everywhere in the hostel and I just sat down and was looking at her. She finished crying. Then finally, and I burst out, I was like, oh, come and take it.
The witch.
So they now said, it was Alex that stole. No, it was Alex that took it. It was Alex that stole these things. So when things started to get missing, it was not looking like everywhere I go, something goes missing. If I enter this person's corner and I leave, the next day the person is crying. Something is missing in my corner. So a senior called me and said, Alex, if you need anything, you can speak to me. I would give you. You don't have to steal. I was just trying to explain to this girl. I would actually swear on my life, my mother's life, you know, and they say, stop swearing, you want to kill your mother. I'm like, my mother will not die because I didn't steal anything. So the senior told me if I need anything, I should come and tell her. I go to class the next day and I come back, everybody was standing outside. As I was coming, they were making way for me. I'm like, what have I done again? Because I'm always doing something. What have I done again? Then I go into the hostel and say, hey, there she is. So I just came inside, started to beat me. Which biscuit did you eat in class today? Senior, I didn't eat any biscuits. I had not even eaten all day because I had dodged to go into the refectory because one senior was going to beat me for talking to her boyfriend. So I didn't go to eat. I came in hungry and everybody just landed on me. And then I said, oh, somebody saw me eating biscuits in class. They opened my locker. All the seniors, the senior that had told me to speak to her if I needed anything, her provision was in my locker, empty. So that means I took it because why is everything that she owned in my locker? They finished beating me that day and I called my mother and I was like, Mommy, I promise you, I didn't take anything. And my friend was telling me, maybe you don't know when you do it. There's this sickness, people that steal without knowing. I'm like, I don't have it. They said, oh, they needed to take me to church to pray for me. My friends were trying to come together and put their hands on their head and pray for me. You know, when they try to make you feel like you're crazy, I started to think that something was wrong with me. Then the next week, everyone goes to class. Again, I was dodging. I didn't want to go to class because I wasn't even doing well anyways. I was dodging and the hostel mistress was like, oh, she could see a movement inside the hostel. Some students that were down there said, oh, let us check. They started searching for like an hour. They didn't see this person. I was searching with them, but I know why I was searching. It was personal to me that somebody's inside the hostel when everybody is out. And when you come back, they will say I'm the one that stole stuff. So everyone searched and left. They were done. I continued searching. And there was this part of the hostel where nobody goes to. They said, oh, it's ghosts that used to stay there. Our toilets. So I went there. You know when you're going to a place that is forbidden? It's like you're going into the evil forest. But you know that
a storyteller, God.
whatever you're going to find in this evil forest is for your own good. But that's what it feels like, because that was the place. It was a forbidden area.
Yeah.
Then I went there and I started to shake the lockers there one by one. One of them was very heavy. I'm like, what's inside this locker? I was opening it with so much fear, but at that point it was a life and death this thing for me. So I just opened it, and it was one of the girls in our hostel. She was hiding inside there. She came outside. She had powder all over her, so she was white. Because when they said they saw somebody, they said there's a spirit.
Stop it.
In the hostel. So this girl had white all over her. She wore her white shimmy, as we call it, and singlets. Then she had like all this dusting powder because she didn't go to school.
Right, so funny.
She didn't go to school and everybody left.
Just to steal?
And then it dawned on me. All the corners that I had gone to speak about something that went missing, she was there. Is either her friend's corner or something. So when I come here, and the corner that I went to tell my friend, oh, this senior said if I need anything, I should tell her, was her corner. The friend that I told...
Were you friends with the girl?
No.
Okay.
Her corner mate that I told was my friend. So I was just my corner mate, and she was laying down there. I finished gisting her corner mate, and I left. And the next day, everything goes missing, and it's in my locker. And then I now asked them at that moment, when everybody now came back, I was like, please, who was the person that said that she saw me eating biscuits in class? It was her. Sure. I'm like, so that means, and then they started to search her box, people's phones, because we're not allowed to hold phones in school, but I mean, seniors would have phones. Everything that they had hit me for was in her locker. But these seniors were too blinded by the hate that they have for me because the boys speak to me to even calm down and, try to investigate.
Yeah.
So I got to that point where I just found out, okay, I need to protect all these girls from these kind of things. I would realize that their peers would hate them just because the boys like to talk to them. Even till now, I still deal with it.
So, obviously, hearing you talk, I don't even understand how somebody can just be getting beaten up for other people. And I know for a fact that that's who you are still at this moment. You're such an empath, right? Like, Alex would see somebody on the road and start crying on their behalf. We don't want to get into that because we don't have time. But my question is, like, being Alex, who is such a heavy empath, who is so beautiful in and out, if I do say so myself, being like that person who is a light, let's not use another word, just light, that's a new name going forward, Alex the Light. She's just being that person who is a light, and Alex, who is such a family person and such a friend person. How are you able to give yourself to everyone and still be?
So sometimes some people teach us some things unknowingly. Right. I've learned that I can burn out too. Initially, I felt like I was not allowed to burn out because a lot of people depended on my energy for their own energy to not drop. But now I understand that when I burn out, it is fine. Everybody has that. Nobody does it for me. Or few people, right now, I allow few people, because before I didn't allow people to do it for me. I allow few people to do it for me these days. But when I burn out, I'm burnt out. I have been able to try and identify. I've not even gotten there completely, but I've been able to try and identify when I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I probably need to not hear anybody speak. I don't need to see anybody. I don't feel like being kind today. And I just go in, rest, refresh, think, do whatever I would do that will make me happy, and then come back out. But now I'm able to even tell people I'm not ready to. And I think I'm not very particular about friends and the selection. I feel like I now select my friends. And I don't use that word friend loosely anymore. I select my friends. Like you are one of the people that taught me to know when. I hope that you know when you burn out too, because you're also so much light. And I feel like you should, because I feel like you carry a lot of our burdens. So you should also know when you burn out, because it's a good thing that when I think of life hitting me a lot of things, I know the person to call is Angel. She would, I feel like she would listen to me. But again, I also wish that you know when you're burning out. So I've tried to learn to understand when I'm tired. Now, when I'm tired, I try to now trace what exactly it is that is stressing me. I write. I start to journal. You're one person that made me start journaling seriously. So now I'm able to trace. I go back and I read last week, 2 weeks ago, what was going right here?
Beautiful.
What's going wrong now? And I know the problem. So once you can identify the problem, at least you can fix it. So I'm able to be kind and know that there are some days when I'm not so kind.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. You're so beautiful. Sorry, I was just...
Thank you.
I got lost for a moment just looking at the fact that she literally just has maybe white powder like that girl in secondary school. She just has white powder on her face and just beautiful. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I think I've pretty much covered everything I wanted to say to you. But just finally, what's something that you would say to someone who is still trying to figure themselves out, you know, who's trying new things or who feels like they're stuck, you know, maybe they're studying agriculture and they want to be in theater arts? What's something that you say to them?
Try and find what makes you happy. At least, even if you can't do what makes you happy now, know what makes you happy. So you know that you are working towards what makes you happy. So in all the discomfort that you're feeling now, if you're able to convince yourself, not even convince, don't lie to yourself. If you're able to put out a pattern and know that, okay, this, if I do this and do this and do this, it leads me to that thing that makes me happy, then do it. I will always tell people, appreciate the days that you were the person that you want to be.
Ooh, yeah.
And then I'll still say, heal from the days that you were the person that you didn't want to be.
Profound.
Right?
Oof.
Protect the person that you are right now and fight for the person that you want to be. So in everything you're doing now, you're basically protecting the person that you are. You're working and fighting for that person that you want to be. So don't stop fighting for who you want to be, but just try to also figure out who you want to be. And it's okay to not know, really. It's okay to not know who you want to be yet, but it's not okay to relax in not knowing. So it's like, and it might feel like I know what I'm doing now, or she's in such a good place, but I need you to understand that you go into good places and sometimes you are done with this stage and you want to go to the next place. Don't ever start to feel like it's because you're not doing well here. That no, it's just because you've exhausted all the things that you're supposed to do here. It's time to grow. It's time to move to the next stage, because we still start to feel like we're not fulfilled. For some reason, you're very fulfilled, and the next time it feels like, oh, everything is just going wrong. It's like being in school. When you're in secondary school and you're done, there's uni, you know, but it's just growth. It's really working to be who you want to be. And even in uni, even when you feel like you're not doing well, even in uni, when you feel like, oh, things are stressing you, if you're able to understand that the reason why I'm here is because I'm fighting for the person that I want to be, it makes sense. It makes things easier. I hope it helps. I mean, it helps me. I give myself a reason.
I'm sure anybody that's watching it, so I just picked a thing or two from this conversation.
Hopefully.
So thank you for your sharing your wisdom, your beauty, everything with us today. Finally, our last segment is a rapid fire segment.
Okay.
It's a wellness vibe check powered by Nutrify.
Okay.
So you're going to choose. You're basically choosing between 1 to 15, 5 numbers, okay?
Okay.
Fast. So go.
5, 10.
Yoga, no, let me ask the question.
Oh, I thought I was going to say 5. Okay, number 5.
Okay,
number
yoga, 5. Gym, or Netflix marathon?
Now, yoga.
Okay, proud of you, girl.
Yeah.
Next.
10.
What's your favorite late night snack that should probably be illegal? Even snack.
That should be illegal.
Don't tell me you're Gucci.
No, that should be illegal. Bread and avocado shouldn't be illegal now.
You like avocado, girl?
Yes, that was our first bonding.
Girl.
We went to buy avocado.
Okay, next.
Okay, number 1.
What was the most challenging health goal you set for yourself?
Reducing sugar intake.
Okay, I love that. How's that going?
Going well.
How many sodas have you had this week?
I haven't had soda in a month.
Proud of you, girl. Proud. You haven't had soda
in a month.
In a month? Oh, we're so proud of you. Love that. Next number.
How many kids do I want to have? 4.
She wants to have 4 kids.
Number 4.
If you're to create a wellness trend, what would it be?
A wellness trend. I don't know.
Think about it. Daily yoga.
A trend, a wellness trend.
Think about it now, so your followers.
I would say travel.
Okay, where's money?
Well, traveling doesn't need to, you don't need to go all the way to another country. But where do you want to travel? But travel, Sha. Travel.
Okay. Final question. First, final number.
Final number 15.
So actually, it's still 14.
Okay. Final number.
Okay, should I just say 14?
Okay, final number 14, yeah.
Okay. What's the weirdest thing you've tried in the name of wellness?
Weirdest thing I've tried in the name of wellness.
Agbo?
I just started taking wellness very serious. So I don't even think I've done anything that is weird.
Okay, maybe next season, if you try something, you can come back and you can tell us.
Yeah.
But on that note, I have a loving, beautiful, caring hamper from Nutrify to help you on your health goals. So continue, just, stay consistent.
Yeah, well. Now I'm going to take wellness very serious.
Love that for you, girl.
Because this is encouraging.
So, yes, exactly. So we hope you just continue to be on your no soda journey. You can look through it later. Well, thank you so much for this beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for this conversation. I'm going to give you a big hug. Thank you.
Thank you.